Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to OutRight TV, a video and podcast series bringing you stories of LGBTIQ people and allies across the globe as we face this pandemic together. My name is M. Ruby, and I am the executive assistant at OutRight. And for today's episode, I'm talking to Bella Fitzpatrick, all the way in Ireland. Bella, welcome to OutRight TV.
Thanks for having me, Em.
Bella, I know you as the executive director of Shout Out, and we met in 2019 when you took a sabbatical and served as a volunteer consultant extraordinaire at OutRight's New York headquarters.
Yeah, some of the best times of my life was working with you guys and OutRight, doing some amazing stuff with so much of the team. I miss you guys so much.
Oh my gosh, we loved having you and can't wait for you to come back. Bella, I know you to be an endlessly funny person and a fierce problem solver, and someone who will always do the right thing even when it's hard. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Wow. That was very nice. Thank you so much. So my name's Bella Fitzpatrick and my pronouns are she and her. And I'm the executive director of Shout Out, and my roommate has a dog. So in some ways, I have a dog, and that's very important to me right now.
I totally hear you. My partner and I just adopted two 10-pound dogs,
Oh my
and
God.
they're like the best distraction ever right now. I mean, they don't know what a pandemic is, and they don't care.
Exactly. And they're just so happy to see you all of the time. It's so nice.
Yeah, they just want cuddles. That's it. Um, what does life look like in Ireland right now in light of the COVID-19 virus?
So we've taken some pretty extreme measures, which accounts for some of our low death rate. So we've had about 440 deaths due to COVID-19 in Ireland since this all began, which is about half the amount that the UK are looking at. And considering the UK to be our closest neighbour, at the moment you can't go more than 2 kilometers outside your house. So you have to stay within the perimeters of your house. So you can go out for a walk and you can go to get groceries, and that is it. You cannot have someone over to your house, even if they live within those 2 kilometers. You cannot go for a drive to the beach. You can't do anything like that. So it's quite extreme, but it is working. So it is easy to feel like it's doable because the results are there. But it does mean that we have police out in force in the streets. Our police are known as Gardaí, and the Gardaí are everywhere, and they will ask you where you're going. Not a huge fan of police state vibes. Not my thing personally. um, and I am concerned for people who might be targeted by the police anyway. Like, I am very privileged. I am white. I am um, a national of Ireland. I have an Irish passport. I speak English. So I'm not too concerned for myself, but I'm concerned for my friends who are people of color, who are sex workers, who might be targeted by the police on a given day, and now they're out in numbers that we've never seen before. So that is a bit of a concern.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And I mean, just considering the fact that you are not allowed to leave home or really go anywhere further than your neighborhood, um, how has that impacted your work with Shout Out?
So we pivoted to offering a lot of online services. Normally we wouldn't. So we're a very small team. It's just myself and my colleague Afrik. Obviously we can't be in the same place, but the internet has made a lot of things possible. So we've already given some trainings online to different companies. But we can't work with schools, and that's our main piece of work is schools, but they're not in. So what we're trying to do is make sure we can get to as many teachers as possible during this time, create more content for teachers specifically. So then when schools do come back in, the schools are going to be flooded with teachers that have a lot more LGBTQ plus training under their belts. So that's what we're doing what we can, when we can, and taking a lot of breaks.
That's really exciting to hear, though, that you've been able to connect with teachers right now. And yeah, I think having the internet as a resource right now has been, I mean, it's life-changing for most people in general, but now, right now, since we can't go outside or see people in person, to be able to connect on Zoom like this is really
Yes,
wonderful.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if this was before the internet, I guess we wouldn't know what we were missing, but it would be so much harder.
Yeah, it would feel much more disconnected. Um, so are students in Ireland working with their teachers right now, or how does it look for their education?
So ideally, students are doing online classes if they can, but not every kid has a laptop. Not every kid even has internet access. So that is a big concern. The big exams we have at the end of school are called the Leaving Cert, and that has been postponed to later in the summer. And that means a lot of students are very stressed about when this will happen, how they're going to have their exams, even though they're not in school at the moment, not being learning the material. And I think that potentially that those exams will just be cancelled outright. And I really wish that decision was made sooner rather than later, so students can have the pressure taken off them. These exams are how you get into any sort of third level education in Ireland, and you get in just on these exams. So it's not based on your extracurriculars, who you are, who your parents are. You're a number and you get a certain amount of points based on the exams. So in that sense, it's quite a fair system. It's not based on money or anything like that. But in the other sense, it's a very, very stressful system because it's 2 weeks of exams for your entire 15 years of education. It all comes down to those few days. And I'm really concerned for people who aren't in homes that are very conducive to learning. So if there's maybe they've had to go take a supermarket job in order to help their families, or they're looking after siblings, how are they doing schoolwork at this time? And I really think that cancelling these exams would be the right way to go. But unfortunately, I don't make those decisions.
Oh, but I mean, God, the stakes are so high with that exam, and to know that not only is that already stressful, but then if you're a student right now getting ready to take that and you're trying to manage a pandemic, which is anxiety producing, on top of other family responsibilities. I mean, wow. It sounds like those exams need to be canceled or
Yeah, I really hope so, because I know myself when I was doing those exams, like they're the type of thing that everyone in my everyone I know still has dreams of doing exams. They were that stressful. And if I didn't have the last few months with teachers, I wouldn't have done well. Like not everyone can do self-directed learning. Some people can do teachers, that's why we have them. And I've been very concerned about my prospects, and all this not knowing and waiting. And the thing is that we're not working from home or studying from home. We're staying home during a pandemic, trying our best to do work. They are two different things, and you have to factor in the overload of information in your brain. You have to factor in fatigue and stress, and not expect everyone to just be producing machines and being able to do everything they were normally doing when all the other stress relievers were there, like seeing your friends and going for a coffee and going to the cinema. Like they're all gone. So therefore, some other things need to be shifted as well.
yeah, that is such a good distinction to make between like working from home and any other condition versus being forced to stay home and try not to get sick and try not to get other people sick and make sure you have enough groceries. I mean, here in New York City, at least, it constantly feels like a struggle to make sure we have enough groceries and we're not going to the store too many times and all of those things. And yeah, there's a lot going on right now. We have to be patient with ourselves and with each other.
Absolutely. Speaking of going to the grocery store, I heard of a Gardaí stopping someone who was going to the grocery store for the second time in one week and being sent home. There's many reasons people need to go to the grocery store multiple times in a week. Some people get paid daily if they're doing jobs like cleaning or babysitting. Some people don't have a lot of cupboard space or even a refrigerator that's very big. Not everyone can just go and spend, $100 and buy all the groceries for a week and have the wherewithal to make that work. And I think we all have to realize that not everyone's being able to deal with this with the same resources that some other people are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking about like this sort of police state that you mentioned before, and like the increase in police harassment that's going on. And that seems to be something I've heard about happening in New York City, across the US, in the Philippines, and from many of our other colleagues at OutRight. It's a hard thing for me to try to balance. Like, we actually need some sort of mandate and support from our leadership to follow these rules and keep each other healthy, but who is actually going to be impacted by this, and like, is it actually helping to have the police out there?
Yeah, I mean, I've found all my interactions with the Gardaí to have been relatively positive, but I need to remember that my experience is not everyone's experience. I went to bring my mom some groceries and was stopped twice on my way there by Gardaí, and I was treated very well. But then again, white. So
Uh,
maybe that had something to do with it, you know? What I'm worried about is one of the big problems we had in Ireland was people have, I think, what you guys call vacation homes, like holiday homes that are in a different part of Ireland. Like the way in New York, some people have like a place upstate.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, so what happened was about a week ago, because it was so sunny here in Ireland, a lot of those people started going to their holiday homes, which you're not meant to be doing. You have to stay where you are. Um, and that is a huge problem, because if those small rural towns get an influx of people, then those small rural hospitals will not be able to deal if there is an outbreak there. So I am glad there were police on our highways stopping rich people going selfishly to their holiday homes. I just don't want to be quizzed about why I might be going to the grocery store 2 times in a week because maybe I didn't have enough money to get everything I needed. So it's about where these forces are being placed, and obviously how many police are really enjoying this excess of power. Like, a lot of police are just doing their jobs and trying to keep everyone safe, but some of them are really enjoying the fact that they can stop anybody and ask them anything.
yeah, I totally hear you. It's um it's a strange, not a new reality, right? Because police can already do that, but a strange increase in that authority. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if this is an appropriate transition in our conversation, but I am dying to know about your new hairdo.
Thank you.
When we met, and maybe it was a year ago, you had long, long flowing hair. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had very long hair that I actually got permed in New York, and it was like my pride and joy was my big mass of curly brown hair, and I decided to shave it off for a couple of reasons. One is I ran out of conditioner, and I couldn't go to the store. So
Very
you have to
practical.
get specific conditioner when you have permed hair. Like, the grocery store doesn't necessarily have it. And two, I wanted to raise some money for shout out. So I got my roommate to shave my head, and I raised some money for shout out, and it's extremely uneven because we forgot that we had taken the guard off the razor. So I have like a bald patch here. It'll be fine. It'll grow in. Yeah,
Good
so
to know.
I'm loving it. Everything's easier, like absolutely everything. Exercising is easier, showering is easier. I don't think I'll ever go back.
Well, it totally looks amazing, and I have to tell you, I had shaved my head a few years ago and felt the same. It was like, oh, I don't even have to think about this. There's no such thing as bedhead.
Yeah,
You just wake
it's
up.
the best. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. And you like, if you do wear makeup, you have so much more palette. So you can get the highlighter all the way up here. I'm loving it. It's a good time to be femme, I'm telling you.
That is so wonderful, Bella. Thank you for sharing that. And have you had other folks shave their heads for shout out?
We've had someone dye their hair red, one of our volunteers. So we had like a campaign called Style for Shout Out. So if you style your own hair. And we've had someone grow out their mustache to like a twirly kind of situation. But no one else has gone the full shaved head yet.
Well, it
But
takes a true form of bravery, and I'm glad that you are the shout out leader, paving the way for everyone else to shave their heads.
thank you.
I'm doing the opposite right now and growing mine
Yeah,
out
nice. Looks great.
because there's no clippers here, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's all right. What are some of the other like creative ways that you've found to stay busy during this stay at home time?
I've been doing what everyone's doing is baking banana bread. Like I'm not that original, you know. It's delicious. It's
It
cake you can
is.
eat during the day, you know. Um, and I have a jigsaw on the go, which I would highly recommend jigsaws if you can get your hand on a jigsaw, because it reduces your brain to just its lower functions, which is just pattern and color recognition,
Mm,
but fills it with enough activity that you're not ruminating on other things. So it is, for me, the ultimate relaxation. And I'm working on that at the moment. And then I'm lucky that I have a garden. So I'm just spending a lot of times watching the birds come and go. We have squirrels in the back garden, and I'm reading the Hunger Games series that I found in the attic of the house we rent. And they're great. So there's plenty to keep me occupied. That's the weird thing. It's like the day to day is fine.
mm,
There's nothing horrible about any individual experience. It's on the whole, it's that's when it feels overwhelming. You know, am I going to be doing this jigsaw in a month? You know, am I going to get so sick of banana bread? You know, each day is absolutely fine, but when you think about it zoomed out, that's when you're like, wow, I really miss my friends and I really miss going to the cinema or just simple things like that. But you know, other than that, I get through the day absolutely fine. It still seems to fly by. The day still goes really, really fast. There's still somehow not enough time to get everything done, which I find quite amazing. And the dog. So the dog is a rescue. So his name is Hugo, and he doesn't know some kind of basic things like how to play fetch. So like if you throw the ball, he'll just be like, throw your ball, you know. So we're trying to teach him how to play fetch, which is really fun. He also doesn't like other dogs, so we're trying to slowly make him feel a little bit more confident with other dogs by taking him for walks and giving him treats. um, the dog has truly, I mean, ever since I moved into this house, I moved into this house after my marriage broke down, and that dog has been here ever since then, and he is honestly probably saved my life. I love that dog so much. He's the best.
oh, I'm so happy about that. And I love seeing your dog on Instagram and other social media. He seems like a total sweetheart. And I'm so glad that you have him right
He's the best.
now. Bella, is there anything else you wanted to share with our OutRight TV viewers?
I guess just be aware that even though we don't know when this will end, we're one day closer to it ending today than we were yesterday. And I recently watched the movie Contagion, which I would not recommend doing.
Very
But
bold of you.
yeah, the main difference in that movie is that it assumes that the worst of people, and the vast majority of people are great, you know. In that movie, the thing that causes so much panic is that people are um, really acting so selfishly, and that has not been my experience at all. The vast majority of people are so kind, and most people are aching to show kindness because they're not able to hug their friends. So the other day I was in the grocery store and I was getting a cart, and we have to put in a coin into the cart to get it out, and a guy just gave me his cart with his coin already in it, because he just wanted to do something nice. And I've noticed that a huge amount that people are, you know, so want to reach out to one another. And I think that we are ultimately we're good little beings. The vast majority of us are good.
Oh, I love that, Bella. Thank you for reminding me that we we are on a whole good people, and we do want to share with each other and to be kind.
No problem. It's always good to remember.
It really helps. Bella, thank you so much for taking the time to be on OutRight TV today. And I'm really glad to share your story. Uh,
Thanks, Em. So good to see you as well.
Good talking with you. Take care.
Bye.